There's toxic men and there's masculine men, but there are zero toxic masculinity men. The sad reality is they don't necessarily come out and say that being weak is virtuous. They say being masculine is toxic. And let's just talk about that for a moment, Jim, because those two words don't even belong together. A man can either be toxic or masculine. If you're masculine, then you are decisive, you are physically strong, but you also know how to control your anger and your rage. You open doors, say please and thank yous, you show respect to others and expect respect back. That is a masculine man, a helper, a servant of society. A toxic man is one who is passive aggressive, has never been taught to speak his mind, has never been encouraged to be physically strong, and therefore lacks confidence in himself. And by being passive aggressive, they let it build up, and then they explode at people. And you go, whoa, bro, whoa, what is the matter with you, man? So there's toxic men and there's masculine men, but there are zero toxic masculinity men. But the media, who thrives on declawing and defanging men, because the reality is, and I know, again, this is going to be politically incorrect, but it's men who are going to stand in the gap when the battle begins. God forbid the battle begins, it's going to be men who will stand in the gap. And so we don't need to declaw and defang women. Women have a very important job that men can't do, many important jobs. Women are nurturers. Women give birth to the population would die if women went on a strike and said, no men can come near me, right? They are caretakers of society. Like my wife, she will organize the controlled chaos that I'm unable to control. She will organize and have a team behind me as I plow forward in another business venture, because she's so well gifted in that area. And I'm gifted in the area of plowing forward and taking risks and knowing how to make those quick decisions in areas of business. But I share this with you because if the media is truly the voice of the government, and remember, you're talking to a former communist here who escaped the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union did use the media as the voice of the government, and we are seeing signs of that now. If the media is the voice of the government, and if the government wants to declaw and defang masculine men like Jim, so that if the time comes, Jim is fearful and doesn't stand in the gap, then it makes sense to point at you and say, the way you are, that flag on your chest, sir, is toxic. You are insensitive, and in fact, you seem intimidating with that confident stare that you're giving me. And I wonder if you might be thinking of inciting violence against me, when in reality, what I see, Jim, is a very confident, patriotic man.